Fishing is easy when you use a drone. 3 fantastic fishing gadgets to help you hook a big one. Plus, looking for love online? 3 red flags to watch out for to weed out the weasels. But first, tattoos you can hear? The coolest new ways to ink at the top of our list right now.
Here's a question for you. Do you have a tattoo? Well, if you're between the ages of 25 and 40, chances are good that you do. 40% of Americans in that age range are sporting ink, and now there are more choices than ever, including some crazy temp tats. Tattoos 2.0 are at the top of our list.
The word tattoo is derived from the Polynesian word tatau, which means to write. The process has been pretty much the same over the years, simply embedding ink into the skin. But like everything else, technology is having a dramatic effect on this ancient art form. Like the sound wave tattoo, which is first on our list.
I love you.
Tattoo artist turned tech CEO Nate Sigurd is turning ink into sound.
So sound wave tattoo is a tattoo that is a visual representation of an audio file.
Everything from the sound of our loved ones to those beloved pets is possible.
Come here, Bachi. Good boy.
The majority of the people who want to get them are people who want to use them for memorial tattoos, for people who they've lost.
Okay, love you much, man.
And Nate says they're looking to future-proof these tattoos.
Like, one of the things I like to bring up is, who do you know who has a cell phone that's more than a few years old? As new technology comes out and everything is advancing, we're going to be able to advance with it.
Pricing and locations will be available on their website in the near future.
I love you.
Next up, try before you buy with the Ink Hunter app.
Taisha is wondering where to place her new tattoo. With Ink Hunter's tattoo app, augmented reality will help her decide.
So just draw a few lines on your arm and then open the app and voila.
You can upload your own artwork and even take a photo to share with your friends.
I may need to check with my lady before I get this one.
It's free for Android and iOS. Finally, holotats look like something out of a sci-fi flick.
Sticky, scan it, share.
Temporary tattoos that come to life. Holotats feature 3D characters and animation that come alive when used with the app. You can choose from a variety of animals, vehicles, and even go patriotic.
So just apply this like any other temporary tattoo, open the app, and get ready for the fireworks.
You can purchase them on the Holotats site in 6-packs starting at $5, but list viewers get 15% off. For a link to the discount code and all of these apps, hit us up on thelisttv.com. Tattoos 2.0 are on the top of the list.
Another ancient tradition that tech has turned upside down, courtship. 50 million Americans have tried dating online, and while many just get taken out for coffee, some get taken for a ride. Online dating pitfalls on the breakdown.
Are you ready to meet someone great?
If you're online looking for your match, be careful you don't get burned.
I think it's very important to approach online dating as you would offline dating.
Cybersecurity expert and author of Swiped, Adam Levin, has 3 ways to put safety first in our search for love. Number 1, watch for red flags.
You take their profile, let's say, and you make a copy and you Google it, and it shows up in other places with other names, possibly other pictures.
It's called a reverse search. It's as easy as putting a picture in the Google Images search bar to verify their identity. If things don't match, you might want to think twice. Another red flag?
I want to meet you, but I just can't. If somebody wants to be with somebody, they're going to find a way to do it.
Next, he says, take care in what you share.
It's a members-only group, but anybody can become a member.
And that includes thieves.
Remember that a lot of the facts that you'll provide in an online profile tend to find their way into answers to security questions.
So if your profile says your dog's name, don't use that to access your bank account. Finally, don't send cash, duh, or compromising photos.
They will pitch you on why you need to send them money in order to get them a plane ticket to come visit you.
They're most likely stealing your cash instead of your heart.
If they ask you for a photograph to really get to know you, that could be used for sale on the dark web as pornography or used to extort money from you.
Basically, if you wouldn't send it to your mother, don't send it to someone you've never met.
My motto online, never trust, always verify.
For more online dating do's and don'ts, visit thelisttv.com. Avoiding online heartburn is what's on the breakdown.
There are a lot of fish in the sea, but if you're more interested in catching them than dating them, we found a bunch of new gadgets to help you get them out of the water and onto your dinner plate. It's on our tech list.
You're used to seeing quadcopters in the sky, but soon they might be hitting the sea. At number 1, Agua Drone, a waterproof quadcopter that wants to reel in the big one. The idea is you fly it over fish-filled waters and use one of 3 pods. A camera pod lets you land on the water to see what's underneath. A sonar pod sends images of what's submerged to your smartphone. And a bait pod takes your line and lure out to distances previously out of reach.
Just think of it, being able to take your bait beyond any imaginable casting distance.
They're out now for $630. At number 2, Angler Tracker, a device that attaches to your rod and makes it smart.
This thing detects every cast and logs every catch, while at the same time marking your exact location and pulling in local weather and water data.
When you start fishing, open their app, and it'll track all sorts of stats serious fishermen used to flounder around with manually. They're out now for $140. And at number 3, the Tactobite Fish Call, a device that sends out sounds and vibrations, hopefully bettering your chances of catching a fish by attracting them to you.
Oh, yeah!
Suitable for fresh or salt water, it tailors sounds and volume to the type of fish you're trying to lure in.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
This thing appears to work so well, it kind of seems like cheating. You can hook yourself up with one for $100. For all the info on these products, head on over to thelisttv.com, taking the bait on fishing gadgets on our tech list.
And when you catch that big fish, most people will want to take a picture for social media, of course.
Right, because if it's not on Instagram, did it really happen?
No.
Today on the Buzz List, we're looking at some of the most Instagrammed places on Earth.
That's right. TravelChannel.com put the list together and we zeroed in on our top 4 favorites. At number 4, we go international. The Eiffel Tower has more than 3 million tagged pics on Instagram.
I love Paris, and the Eiffel Tower is definitely the main attraction. It makes for a great pic on the gram. That means Instagram, by the way.
Right, thanks for the clarification there, Jared.
Yeah, no problem at all. Next, let's pull LeBron James and take our talents down to South Beach for number 3, where there's almost 5 million tagged pics on the social media giant.
What's not to love about South Beach? Incredible food, music, and beautiful people on the beach. But guys, please leave the Speedo at home. Not a good look. Coming in at number 2, the Vegas Strip.
Viva Las Vegas! There's over 20 million tags of the bright lights, gambling, pool parties.
And the nightlife.
Yes.
It all makes Vegas one of the most popular spots in the world.
Indeed. And the number 1 most Instagrammed place in the world with over 21 million tagged pics is...
Disneyland, that's right. It's a small world after all.
It is. The rides, the nostalgia. This place is so great. They make us love an animal we usually pay an exterminator to get rid of.
That's very true. Speaking of Instagram, make sure you follow our page at The List Show TV.
Happy gramming, everyone. That's our Buzz List.
Get this! 44,000 cans of Spam are produced every single hour. Coming up, with all that mystery meat out there, is it gross or gourmet? Plus, imagine if your Lyft driver was a Jonas brother. You gotta see this. And the new trend, rethinking monogamy. Stay tuned, there's more coming up on the list.
Drama in our own lives is exhausting, but watching it happen to other people on TV, now that's some fun. The upcoming fall TV shows are filled with it in space, in a hospital, overseas, everywhere. Drama, the good kind, on the hot list.
I sense it coming down.
We sense that Star Trek Discovery is the first fall TV drama on our list.
Starfleet doesn't fire first. We have to.
Step aside, Captain Kirk. It's time for a new galaxy of stars. This isn't just dramatic entertainment-wise, it's boldly going where no show has gone before in terms of how you can watch it. The premiere will be on CBS, but the rest of the episodes will only be available on their streaming service, CBS All Access, which costs $6 a month.
I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to save all of you.
For Trekkies, though, it may be worth the investment. We head back to Earth for our second action-packed fall TV drama, The Brave.
Kim, what's going on? Kim!
Coming to NBC Mondays, watch Defense Intelligence and Special Ops squads team up to save innocent lives around the world.
There's no cavalry. We are the cavalry.
Each heart-pounding episode will be an hour-long look at America's elite undercover military heroes.
Execute, execute.
Now let's keep your hearts racing with The Good Doctor at number 3.
Looks normal to me.
It's not normal.
Freddie Highmore, fresh off his role as Norman Bates, stars in this ABC Monday night drama about a pediatric surgeon who doesn't let his autism stop him from saving lives.
He's breathing.
The show isn't just giving us a look at life-saving procedures, it's giving us a look at something we don't often see represented in entertainment.
We hire Sean and we give hope to those people with limitations, that those limitations are not what they think they are, that they do have a shot.
Never forget, you're the smart one. You can do anything.
And finally, we get a little spiritual with The Gospel of Kevin at number 4.
Transform yourself into something new.
Jason Ritter stars in this Tuesday night ABC drama about a down-on-his-luck man who is tasked by his guardian angel with a mission to save the world one person at a time.
You must lead a life in service of others. Help people. Who? This is going to be a lot harder than I thought.
Turns out helping people isn't all that difficult.
I'm getting a second chance.
Dramas to make you cry, smile, and gasp on the hot list.
While Kevin struggles to save one person at a time, a lot of other people are struggling with being faithful to one person at a time. A recent study showed nearly half of Americans would consider an open relationship. We're looking at people rethinking monogamy on the lowdown.
It's a question old as monogamy. Are we meant to be with just one person? We enlisted 2 sex experts to weigh in on consensual non-monogamy.
You have your open relationships, swinging, and then there's monogamish, where you guys might play with others.
Other times it's about each one maybe having their own secondary or even tertiary relationship or sex partner.
First up, more people are in non-monogamous relationships than you think.
Believe it or not, the baby boomer generation or, the current millennials, and they're all interested and they all are curious. We're living for such long periods of time that we're seeing it's really hard to uphold that just being with one person for, 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Millennials aren't living the standard life anymore. We have non-conventional lifestyles, and that's why we're seeing a rise in non-conventional relationships.
The internet is playing its part too.
Social media has given people access to role models and templates and resources where they can learn about how to do non-monogamy, but also they can see people that have pulled it off in really beautiful, long-term, sustainable ways.
Next, it doesn't mean the relationship is failing.
It's because your relationship has so much strength and such an awesome foundation that you're in a place to be able to pull this off.
If it makes you a more full and vibrant person, then of course these relationships can be great, because when you are stronger, your relationship or marriage is stronger.
Finally, stigmas aren't necessarily true.
I, for example, am in an open relationship, and I often get comments like, "Oh, you're being taken advantage of," as if I'm just along for the ride rather than right there in the driver's seat along with my partner.
And as for children
need healthy, attentive primary caregivers. And if that's occurring, the relational style of the parents really isn't that important.
Bottom line,
if you're a healthy person and you're willing to put the work in, then I think it could be something that could be very beneficial to a relationship for sure.
The curiosity leads to a lot of questions, but hopefully those questions lead to acceptance.
Understanding unconventional love is what's on the lowdown.
Now from the list, Sam, gross or gourmet? We all know this mystery meat in a can. By the way, It's not really a mystery at all. There are only 6 ingredients. Pork with ham, modified potato starch, salt, water, sugar, and sodium nitrate. It's practically health food. In Hawaii, they eat 7 million cans a year, and there's even a church of Spam. I'm not saying you should, but you could eat Spam 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner. Number 1, start your day off with a breakfast Spamarito. Hola, processed meat. Number 2, lunch. Try a Spam and cheese melt. Spam's already cooked, so just chop it up with a little mayo, celery, and voila. At number 3, get fancy for dinner with Spam Wellington. Pairs well with Pinot Cipio. For the full recipes, go to thelisttv.com.
3 ways to win at life with The List. Know the next big thing. Do it yourself. Find great deals.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Get your next epic win. Watch The List.
Rent in the U.S. has gone up nearly 2.5% in the last year, averaging $3,000 a month in cities like New York and San Francisco. This has more and more people looking for alternatives, and the result, communal living is what's trending.
When you think of dorm life, you think of college students, but now adults are getting wise to it with co-living.
Co-living is an emerging trend in housing that enriches the resident life experience and provides a space for them to feel at home.
Companies such as Ollie and Common are developing living spaces that usually involves a room or a very small studio within a building that has common areas to enjoy, and people are lining up for it.
The response to date has been really overwhelming. The buildings, when we open them up, within a matter of months, we could have already filled them up, several times over.
According to Ollie's co-founder and CEO, Christopher Bledsoe, it isn't just about millennials.
About 1 out of every 4 or 5 inquiries that we receive into our website is from a baby boomer, and they're dipping their toe into urbanizing.
So what's the big appeal? First, the cost.
We're getting a value proposition to the consumer, offering convenience, comfort, and community in a way that's packaged together and at price points that just aren't otherwise available.
With the average rent in New York City about $3,600 a month, according to Rent Cafe, co-living communities are changing the rental landscape by lowering costs with creative use of space.
Examples of how we're eliminating square footage is we're combining bedrooms and living rooms into one, where a bed becomes a sofa, or even a coffee table that once was stationary, now making it movable so that that coffee table can pop up and become a TV tray.
Ollie's Manhattan locations start at $2,600, and Common's Brooklyn locations start at just over $1,300 for a private room. And it's not just the all-inclusive price tag that makes these so attractive, it's the amenities.
With Ollie, you have access to concierge service, to social clubs. It feels like you're living in a hotel in a city.
They also include housekeeping, and many are fully furnished.
The desire for on-demand living, where you can show up into the apartment for the first time with a backpack full of clothes, a laptop, and some toiletries, and you're ready to go, that has great appeal to not just this generation of millennials, but many other renters as well.
And finally, co-living provides built-in communities that build friendships.
Co-living provides opportunities to bring others into your household, to live with roommates who you're compatible with, or to live on your own, but amidst a community where there's a community manager whose sole responsibility is to drive engagement, whether that's attending weekend brunches or ski trips.
And providing activities is a key factor to the communal living model. Look for this housing option to go beyond the high rent markets of New York, DC, San Francisco, and LA, because people want true connections.
At Ollie, we like to think that co-living is not the absence of privacy, but the celebration of community.
A new way of living is what's trending.
Get the List app right now. Access awesome hacks, DIY projects, and every list you need to simplify your life. Just search The List TV in the App Store and Google Play. On the next list. 1. Raising your own chickens isn't as crazy as you think. How it can save you money and save your health. 2. Transforming your body for summer is easy with these celebrity tips. You can even keep eating your potatoes. And 3. How to use your backyard to save on summer costs. All that on Monday's list.
Nowadays, it's pretty common to use a ride-sharing service to take you around town. But what's not so common is the driver being a well-known superstar. Incognito. We're going undercover with Lyft and one of the Jonas Brothers on the Viralist.
I was in a band and we broke up, and that was similar, you know. And it was fine. It was what it was, but it was good, you know. I'm trying to be a singer too, actually.
You look like Joe Jonas.
I get that all the time. It's ridiculous.
Spoiler alert, that is Joe Jonas. He went undercover as a Lyft driver in this new video, and his bandmates from DNCE went undercover as passengers joining a Lyft line carpool.
My first concert was actually the Jonas Brothers.
Isn't that embarrassing?
These guys had a ton of fun embarrassing their lead singer, and then, of course, rocking out with the unsuspecting passengers to their new hit, Kissing Strangers.
Do you have a tambourine? I have a shaker.
Only one thing left to do, the big reveal.
I'm the lead singer of the band DNCE.
Surprise! See the whole video and more fun-filled undercover Lyft pranks on thelisttv.com.
Oh my god, I'm like, seriously, my heart is pounding. I'm not sure what I'm saying right now.
It's a passenger party on the Viralist.
All right, so don't feel bad if you don't know who DNCE is. Just tell your kids you know who they are, and they'll be very impressed.
For the record, I knew who they were.
No, you didn't.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
I didn't know either. See you next time.